Look at this. I'm freaking huge. Freaking huge. Welcome to That's Not Sexy. I'm your master level personal trainer, Alex Diaz, aka Mr. Freaking Huge. And this video is going to be about intermittent fasting because I got so many questions. And before anyone who's watching this who's never been to my channel says, I'm doing this video for views or for views, whatever. Understand that I disabled all my ad revenues on YouTube, so I don't give a crap about views or anything like that. I'm doing my videos to help people. So let me give a shout out to some people who actually wanted me to make a video about intermittent fasting. Arbassi25, hey bro, can you make a video about your feelings and thoughts in regards to intermittent fasting? Just curious to hear how you feel about it. Cheers, fella. All right. And Andrew Moore in 1984, good video, buddy. Subscribe. Would like to hear more on your take on intermittent fasting. So, and some other people, whatever. I mean, this is like a hot subject, like really hot subject. What is my take on intermittent fasting? I made a video about this on my number 6 Ask a Personal Trainer video, which I'll probably leave somewhere over here for those of you who missed that, because I had a question about that before. But I guess you want more in-depth version, I guess, or maybe you guys and girls haven't seen that video. But intermittent fasting is okay. Fasting and intermittent fasting, so the fasting you're not eating, period. And intermittent fasting, you have a small window of time you could eat. So there's a 16-hour fast where you don't eat for 16 hours and you have 8 hours to eat. You could do 24-hour fast. There's different types of fasting you could do for intermittent fasting. Do I recommend intermittent fasting? What is it? Why? What's the benefits? Are there any benefits? Is there any difference between this and calorie restricting and all this and that? It's all about calorie intake, calorie in, calorie out. Because when it comes to intermittent fasting, if you keep the same calorie intake as most people have done, they kept the same calorie intake, they did not lose any weight. Okay, why is this? Because you're keeping the same calories. The whole thing about intermittent fasting is, since you have a smaller window to eat, you're not going to eat as much, which means you're reducing your calories. I hope that makes sense. So you're not going to eat the same amount of food you would eat in a smaller window. So if you eat, let's just say 3,000 calories, all right, and you fast for 21 hours, you're not going to be able to fit 3,000 calories within 3 hours. You're going to feel full. So the whole point is you're limiting your calories because you have a smaller window to eat, so you feel fuller. And that's why you don't feel hungry, and you're satisfied. So you're eating because you're eating less at a smaller window. So that's how intermittent fasting works. All right. It's not magic that you're limiting your calories and you're losing weight. That's the way your body works. You decrease your calories, that means you're eating less, so you're losing weight. If you increase your calories, then you're going to gain weight. It's just simple. So there are some benefits, though. I'm not talking about weight loss, because all weight loss is all about calories, but there's benefits to intermittent fasting the reason why I recommend it to my clients is not besides reducing your calorie intake and giving yourself a structure, so you could eat, have a certain window to eat, but also it helps with detoxifying your body, and that's really important, and also there's been some studies with saying that your growth hormone increases by 20%, whatever the case, I forgot what it was, and when you're sleeping, you have growth hormone. You're producing growth hormone all the time. Um, I'm not sure of the specifics of the study. My own guess would be that since you're not eating, you're eating, well, since you have a bigger window that you're not eating, you have higher amounts of ghrelin, which is a hormone. Well, when you get hungry, that's the hunger you have. That feeling you have is ghrelin. And I believe there's a correlation with wherever you have a high amount of ghrelin, you actually produce more growth hormone. So as soon as if you haven't eaten for a while, the ghrelin is produced. You feel so hungry. As soon as you eat, your ghrelin starts to drop, and hence so does your growth hormone. That's why insulin and growth hormone don't match, because ghrelin affects it. That's what I think. Okay, because they're not specific on how the growth hormone how it increases. That's how I interpret it, because it does affect because of your ghrelin levels. So as far as growth hormone, that's why I would recommend it. Also, a lot of people, they work or go to school, don't have time to eat. So there's another way to structure a good plan so that you could eat after you work or whatever. And, there's a myth where, oh, you have to eat breakfast or you can't eat at the nighttime. Your body doesn't care what time you eat. Your cells don't have stopwatches and say, oh, I have to eat at this time and this time, or if not, my body's going to eat itself. Whatever. If you don't eat within 48 hours, your body starts to eat itself. Yes, you use your fats, you use your muscles. So I would recommend that don't make sure if you're fasting, don't go past a 48-hour fast if you're going to do fasting. And also take some BCAAs if needed. If you feel like you need to keep amino acids, you're allowed to have amino acids. You're allowed to drink when you're not fasting. You're allowed to have caffeine or green tea. You can't have anything with any orange juice or something like that. That's going to break your fast. So as far as the difference between men and women fasting, there is a difference. Okay. For women, if they decrease their calories by 40%, all right, that's going to have a problem with the pituitary gland. So this would affect reproductive system. This would affect your metabolism. And it's just, so when it comes to women and fasting, you shouldn't be decreasing dramatically your calories by 40%. Or even 25%, all right? So it'll be a small decrease in your calories. For anyone who wants to start this intermittent fasting, you're not going to dramatically decrease your calorie intake by, if you normally eat 3,000 calories, you're not going to say, well, okay, I'm going to only eat 1,000 today, or I'm only going to eat 900. No. If you eat 3,000 calories, okay, no, you're going to decrease to 2,500, 2,300, okay? It depends on the person, the weight, everything. There's a lot of things, but I'm just saying, I'm just giving an example. Okay, so you don't want to dramatically decrease your calories. Okay, so this will also affect your recovery, your training as well. So that's why I don't recommend to decrease your calories dramatically like that, especially for women. And I explained why already. What else is there about intermittent fasting? So you're only allowed to drink water as much as you want, no problem. It don't matter when you want to do it, if you want to do it in the morning, if you want to do it at nighttime. But this is just, if this is a way, if this is fits with your lifestyle, then I would recommend it. Okay, but if you're someone that you just can't do it, then just calorie restrict every day. Okay, if you can't fast for 16 hours, that's fine. Just then do calorie restriction, you'll be fine. But if you want to follow a structure, this would be a good structure. It's pretty easy to do. Sorry about that, I had a call. So anyway, this will help with your mind as well. Kind of like testing your will to become mentally stronger as well, because this is a way of setting a structure where you're challenging yourself, so you become more. Your mind becomes sharper and stronger. So you feel more, how can I put it, you could take on anything. If you could do this, you could do anything else, kind of thing. So, and then you also understand what real hunger is, because there's a difference between what you think is hunger and actually people starving in Africa. It's a big difference. So now you know that in the first two or 3 days, you might feel your stomach, it might be bothering a little bit, but after that, your body gets used to it. Your body adapts to it. So it's not a big deal. It's safe. You're not gonna lose any muscle unless you don't eat for 40 hours. If you're afraid that you're gonna, starve and eat yourself, then make sure you have your BCAAs. But you don't need to take that if you're eating, if you're eating good, if you're eating your chicken and steak and everything else. So I would recommend that if you want to do this to eat more fiber, add more fiber to your diet, lots of green vegetables and green leafy vegetables, stuff like that to help you go to the bathroom better, because you don't want to be constipated. And who gets fat eating fruits and vegetables, right? So I think that's it for this intermittent fasting. It's a pretty big subject, and I hope I gave you a little more insight on it. I'm not sure what specifically people wanted me to talk about, but I just ramble, and there it is. So hope you liked the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, That's Not Sexy, and also my second channel, Mr. Freaking Huge. Both of them right there. That's pretty much it. And if you're not subscribed, that's not sexy. Freaking huge. No. I'm gonna cut some muscle and eat it. I got problems. Take care, everybody.